Hello, hello, beautiful soul. How are we all? It is so good to be back. Wow, I know it's been a long time since you've actually seen me live in the group. We have had some posts, engagement, some videos that were already pre recorded. But yeah, we're back to doing live events, which is really great. I'm very excited. I hope you're doing well. And I'm actually here today because, firstly, I would love to thank you. Thank you so much for being here in the community. Thank you for connecting with me, asking questions, sharing your wisdom, engaging in the group and on other platforms where we are connected. And I just wanted to thank you so much because it means a lot that you are part of our community and that you are actually, working together with your pets, together with other people. It's just absolutely amazing. And that's what it's all about, right? Connection, personal connection, and being there for yourself and being there for each other. And I actually wanted to, before I dive into some other bits and pieces, wanted to share something with you that I spoke to a really close friend of mine about this morning. And that's all about tapping into some of the energies that we are experiencing right now. And we had a lovely conversation around that because you know what? Things are very turbulent right now for a lot of people. Things are changing really quickly. We are shifting a lot. And it's also a great, exciting time as well, because I have noticed that we are all expanding and changing for the better, in particular for ourselves. And during the programs that I've got clients enrolled in right now and seeing the changes happening right there and then is just so inspiring. And it's actually interesting too, because even though we work on ourselves, we still do a lot more that we do for other people as well. And that's something that we spoke about this morning, that we need to actually draw it back to ourselves too. And it was really interesting to listen to my friend too about what she's experiencing and how she's actually dealing with all this other stuff that's sort of happening underneath the surface, right? The language that we use for ourselves, the energies that we bring to ourselves. And it's really important to acknowledge that and to work through that for you as well. And I know that a lot of people here in the group are doing that really well. So I just wanted to acknowledge that as well, because that obviously has a ripple effect throughout. So if you are here, say hi, post in the comments below. I would love to know who's watching at the moment and who's here. And if you've got any questions, please let me know. If you're watching the replay, put in hashtag replay in the comments so that I can pop back in later down the track as well and interact with you there too. So once again, thank you. Thank you for being here. Now, it is exciting times, very exciting times. And I've done a lot of work this year with beautiful humans and amazingly wonderful animals. And it's been such a joy to work with everyone. And the things that I've really picked up on as well is that the animals are so keen to work with their humans, right? Which is absolutely fantastic. Let me just look down here because I see someone said hello. Hello. I just want to see who that is because I can't really see that in the chat pop-up. So let me just quickly have a look to see who just commented. Oh, Melanie is here too. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So good to see you all. Fantastic. So it's very exciting times because the animals are very focused on helping us through some of the experiences that we have. And what I've also noticed is that animals are actually taking on some of the things that we are experiencing too, because they don't want us to suffer. They don't want us to be unhappy. They don't want us to feel disconnected from ourselves. So our pets are very keen to help us. But at the same time, it is our responsibility to help them to understand that it's not often their role to take on what we experience. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because I see a lot of animals that are suffering because of what we are doing or what we are not doing. And that can be detrimental, not just for our pets, but also for us, because we worry, because we want them to be happy and healthy, and we see the changes in them. Not only that, we are not happy, or we're not healthy, or we're not having the experience that we want to experience. So, what we want to do is become very observant in what is happening with us, what is happening within us, and to actually start to work from that place even more so. Because guess what? That is what your pet is doing every single day. They are so present in the moment. They are so in their own energy and working with their intuition, that is what they are teaching us as well. And it's really important for you to start to notice what your pets are actually doing. Now, some of you have attended my other workshop called Your Pet is Your Mirror. And that is so true. We have to really start to focus on what they are doing, how they are interacting with us, because that is an indicator for us to also look back at what are we doing that actually instigate that in our pets. And when we connect with our animals at that deeper level, it's fascinating to learn from them what their experience is. But it's even more fascinating to learn what they actually observe in us. And it's wonderful to have that. It's wonderful to have your pet with you to see what you are experiencing, to actually have that reflected back at you, because we can then sit in that space and go, okay, what am I going to do about that? And you know what? The minute you make those changes, you will see that change happening in your animals as well. And that's the key, right? And that's what we want. Absolutely what we want. Now, we also want to make sure that our pet is very, very happy living with us, but they can't be happy the way we want them to be if we don't have that connection with ourselves to work on those bits and pieces that make us more happy, right? We can decide to have happy feelings. We can decide to have a certain experience, right? And that's all about manifesting. And this morning, I had that conversation around manifestation too, which was around, the experience that we have that we don't want. And my realization was that even though I've got my pets here, and even though I'm focused on the energies that I want to bring in, the things that I want to manifest, the things that I want to change for myself to be able to feel better, to be happy, to be more in alignment, to have connection with myself, sometimes we are still manifesting the things that we don't want, the feelings that we don't want, that thought process that we have in our brain, the language that we speak. We don't want that. Yet, what are we doing to manifest that? What are we doing to manifest the things that we don't want, right? So there are some elements in that we can shift for ourselves and actually recognize, well, we don't necessarily have to know what it is that we are doing. We don't have to know the reason why it is happening. All we can do is really tune in, figure out that what we don't want, as in the energies that make us feel unhappy, the thoughts that don't serve us, identify those. And then, take that deep breath and go, how can I change that? What can I do instead? What do I want to feel instead? What do I want to think instead? And then go into that space of the feelings and the thoughts that do serve you. Our animals show us that very clearly. For example, if you have a dog, have you seen your dog shake during the day, a couple of times a day, perhaps? They get up, or they're walking in your living room, or they're walking out on the street with you, and all of a sudden they stop and they shake, right? That is to shake things off, literally shake things off, move that energy around, right? They shake things out, and maybe they stretch and they do all that sort of thing, right? So when we look at that, we go, okay, that makes sense. If we are feeling the things that we don't want to feel, if we are thinking the thoughts that we don't want, even if we have the experience that we don't want, shake it off. Maybe literally stand up and shake, dance, change that energy, move it around, and then tap into the energy that you do want. Tap into that what you do want to create. And animals do that really well. They shake it off, and then they go and drink water to re-energize. And then they either play or they relax into it. They breathe, they yawn, because it's all to do with shifting those energies around. And that's really important for us to take note of. Now, when we connect with our animals, we really talk about soul connection. And you know that I'm really, really keen on that, right? When we connect with our pets, we have a communication channel that is soul to soul, heart to heart. In addition to that, telepathy becomes part of that process too. And that is to do with, how we actually receive the information through our minds. And I just wanted to show you here as well around that, because we really want to hone in as well on the benefits, of that soul connection. So we have soul connection with our pet, and we really bring in that soul connection that because you know what? A lot of people don't get this fully because we have been taught that it's different, but animals are sentient beings. All animals have a soul. So when we are going to go into the deeper connections with them, we are talking from our soul, from our sovereign being, to their soul, to their sovereign being. And what that means is that we are going to experience an open communication channel with the animals, and therefore we get information filtered through. And that can come through by way of language, words, sounds, colors, images. Maybe we can feel what they feel. We can sense what they are experiencing. So to be able to do that is to practice the skill sets that you already have, that you reconnect with. And these skill sets are often non-physical, the non-physical spiritual skill sets. And also it's honing in on your deeper connection with yourself, tuning into your soul, your heart connection, right? And utilizing your intuition to connect with the animals. So when we have that, we level up the intuition that we have. We heighten it, we bring it up a notch, because we want to increase the frequency of our intuition so that we have that open communication channel with the animal that we're connecting with. And I've said this before, it's almost like tuning into a radio station to get to the right frequency, to hear and maybe even see, the images. And yes, you totally relate to that. That is awesome. I feel in the past I've been projecting my feelings and doubts onto my precious doggies. With your help, back on track and let them have the space to be themselves. 100%. That is so amazing. Because we want to make sure that whatever we are experiencing, we're not going to project that out on our animals. It doesn't do them any good, nor does it do you any good. Because you know what? You are responsible and accountable for what you experience. Nobody else. And therefore, you are also the only one that can make the changes, not your animals. They're not responsible for that. They can hold space for you, be there with you, to support you, to guide you, and to be the love that you may seek, so that they can show you how to love unconditionally. However, they are not responsible for how you feel. They're not responsible for taking that away from you and deal with it and discard it. You are responsible and accountable for that. And that's really important to acknowledge as well, right? One of the other benefits that we have in terms of soul connection with our pets is clarity. Once we have that heightened intuition, we have that open communication channel, we are really clear on the information that they share with us. We know exactly what they experience. And the more we do this, the more trust we have in our ability to connect with them, and the more confidence we gain as well at the same time. We understand each other deeply as well. Going back to the trust, actually, I'm just noticing here on the slide as well. I mean, it is that clarity, but also the trust of the connection, right? Because they trust us so well, and that's something we want to really hone in on ourselves. We want to trust ourselves, and that's probably the biggest piece that I work on with my clients. Trust is huge. The more we do this, the more we trust it. Understand each other deeply is a huge benefit, because we want to make sure that we listen to each other in an active way so that we can come up with an action plan, how we're going to move forward together. We understand each other so that we know what we are experiencing, right? And that's something that we really want to take on board as well, because not only do the animals want to help us, we also want to help them. And therefore, we need to know exactly what the experience is. Ultimately, unconditional love is what we are seeking, right? Throughout our life and our experience here, that's what we want. We all want to be loved. We all want to experience love unconditionally. Now, animals have that automatically. They trust us without question, no judgment. They love us for who we are, no question, no judgment. They accept us just like that. We accept them just like that. We love them unconditionally. Now, what would happen if you love yourself the same way that you love your pets? I want you to think about that. What if you love yourself the way you love your pets? What would change for you? What is the experience that you then create for yourself? I would really love for you to ponder on that a little bit and tune into that. Do you have compassion for yourself? Do you love yourself unconditionally, without judgment? Yeah. So I would really invite you to think about that, because that is an important piece. Because if we do not love ourselves and accept everything that we are, it is going to be really challenging for you to find that heart connection with yourself. And then it becomes even more challenging to have that open communication with your animals as well. Because if we don't feel that unconditional love, if we don't have that in our energy field, it is really challenging to have those connections. And that's often also what people are struggling with, because we don't trust ourselves, we don't love ourselves, we may not even respect ourselves, we may not even accept everything about ourselves. And these things will become a blockage to you connecting to the animals. And that's probably the biggest piece, the trust, the love, the doubt. Yeah. Not being confident in the connection. Those are the things that we really work on throughout. So if you take anything away from today, it is that question. What would change for you? What would make it, how would it make a difference for you? By just wondering, what would it be like to love myself the way I love my animal? And then work from that place. Paint that picture for yourself. Maybe even write down what those characteristics would be that you then see in yourself. What would you feel when you love yourself the way you love your pet? What does that look like? And then bring that energy forward and step into that energy. And then you live from that place. You make decisions from that place. And those become inspired actions. And then you also see the shift in your animal too. If you do have any behavioral issues with your animal, or maybe even physical ailments, when you start to make some changes about yourself, then those can often be resolved as well. So that's, quite an important piece in that process. Now, very exciting news. With all of these benefits and all of these different levels that we are working through, with the animal communication course that I have, where we actually work live over a period of 8 days, I have found that a lot of people are actually challenged by the times, and it also limits people from joining from the Northern Hemisphere because our daytime is their nighttime. So I have created the course online. it is self-paced. You still have access to a beautiful support group and have support from myself as well. So this online course is going to go live in June, the first week of June, but you can already enroll. And because you are part of the group here, I'm going to make a really, really special offer. And there is a bonus attached to that as well that I normally don't offer as part of this program at all. So we're going live in the first week of June. You can already enroll now. I'll put the links below. And when you book before the 1st of June, you will get 75% off because you are part of this community. And that's huge because you will save over $400. So I'll put all the details in the comments below. On top of that, you will receive a bonus, which is a soul vibe portrait, which is a channeled piece of art that represents a connection with your soul. But on top of that, it will be a combination portrait between you and your pet. So what that means is that I will tune in to your pet and to you, and I will create a drawn, colorful representation of both your souls and what it means for you both to be in this lifetime together. And it will come with all the messages and things like that as well. So that you will receive as a bonus, which is amazing. And I'm really excited about that because usually the Soul Vibe portrait, it's only for the humans. But I have now invited the animals to come into that space as well, so that you will see that combination portrait, which will be very, very powerful for you. I have learned that people use it as a talisman. They print it off and hang it and frame it so they can see it every day. They even have tattoos of it on their body, so which is amazing. So, you can use it as you please, and it gives a lot of energy as well. So that's really, really wonderful for me to be able to offer you that. And that's only because you are part of the group here. So with this offer, this is the online course, Animal Soul Connection course, where you can hop in. It's all self-paced, but you still have the group support and support from myself as well. Normally, you will save over $400. So there's 75% off, and that means you only pay $140 for that program. And it has that beautiful soul vibe portrait for both of you included as well. So I'm really excited about that. What you can expect from the program is that you have all the online resources, videos, downloads, meditations, all the exercises, everything is in there, and you'll work through it week by week, or you can do it self-paced. So there is that structure that you can do in the group all together, or you can do it self-paced as well. So you get a lot of hands-on experience. We have animals that are part of the group that we can validate the information for you, practice with each other. When you finish the course, you will receive a certificate that you have completed the course as well. And on top of that, there are monthly live group meetings. See it as your animal communication mastermind until November 2022. So that's also an extra bonus that I'll throw in for you as well. So again, I'll put the link below. It will be wonderful to have you and your pet as part of the program because it is online. You can bring your pets, which is amazing. So yeah, let me know what you thought of what I just shared with you. I would love to hear your feedback, any questions that you have. I'm here. If you don't want to do that in the comments below, send me a personal message. Not a problem at all. I'm here for your support. And I really look forward to seeing you and your pet more often here in the group, but also on the program that we're going to kick off in June. So all I have to say is say hi to your pet from me and stay connected with love and grace. Bye for now.